Hannah, welcome to our beginning of the BUYSIDE Home Valuation Week. You typically know the drill here. We got to give it a couple minutes for everyone to join us and log on. So we have a pretty hefty group. We're just going to give it some time. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Ooh. Normally we get everyone in the chat like, hey, how are you? It's pretty quiet.
It's Monday, so gotta give them a little
the end
time.
Of Monday too. Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, there's only so much I can just keep saying. Well, there it is. Hey, Terry, how are you?
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, see,
hey, everyone.
This is now I'm like, okay, they hear us. They're following along.
It's Monday.
So I'm going to quickly introduce everyone and then let our BUYSIDE friends here take over. But my name is Kate LeSueur. I'm the Director of Education for the Midwest and pretty much do a lot of these program launches with Kevin Bataille, who's on as well. He is digital marketing, all things digital marketing. We are here from Howard Hanna, and then I'm going to introduce Caitlin Grubb. She is our account manager for Howard Hanna, and on a weekly call with Kevin and I, talking about all of the requests and updates that we are getting from BUYSIDE. And then in my bottom right corner, excuse me, Tom Shively. He is the Director of Education and Engagement for BUYSIDE, and they are here. Kevin and I obviously are going to be behind the scenes with questions, but they're going to take over in a minute and share about the home valuation week. So Caitlin, Tom, how'd I do? It's on you now.
Perfect. That was great. No, that was wonderful. That was a great intro. And yeah, this is really exciting. It's day one. We're excited to kick everybody off and get all this going. So it's really exciting to talk to all of you guys. Thank you for being here about the week itself, about why we're celebrating, and then, you know, quick refresher on how to use this stuff.
Hey, Tom, really quick. I always leave notes here for myself, and of course I still forgot. Guys, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, they're probably going to try to answer a lot of them at the end, but please put them in the Q&A, because if we don't get to all of them, that's the way that we can actually download and send out an FAQ after the fact. So anything in the chat, it won't save. Just please remember, if you have a question for Caitlin or Tom, put that in the Q&A. And now I'm done with my spiel.
Gotcha. Okay. Should we go? Should we start?
I think so. Let's do it.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Let's rock. Okay. So let's see if I can. This is always the first step of every webinar. Can I share my screen? Yes. Can you see that?
Yep, you're all good.
I hear people nodding. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're going to be talking about National Home Valuation Week, and we are so excited. Like you said, my name's Tom Shively. So I'm going to be taking you guys through a couple things. So a quick agenda for what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to take a look at what National Home Valuation Week is. So what is the thing that we're celebrating? So why do we have this? So we're going to take a look at that first. Then we're going to take a look at your actual home valuation page. So we're talking about celebrating this week, about why we want to get this information out there. Well, what information is there? What can we show our clients? So we have this great page. So we'll walk through what's actually on it and what is the information you're going to be sharing. Then how do we get it into the hands of our clients? So we're talking about sharing this page out there. Well, there's a few tools that you have within BUYSIDE that's going to help you send this out to your clients, that'll get it into their hands and let them show their address, type in their address, and see their actual information on this page that you have. And then once we get it out there, once people start to put in their addresses, what happens to those leads? Though we're ultimately using this to get those great seller leads. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. And like she said, we do have this great Q&A at the very end. So if you do have any questions about anything we talk about today, please put it in the Q&A and we'll get to those questions at the very end. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, so the first question or the first thing that we're going to talk about is National Home Valuation Week itself. So why are we celebrating this thing? And what it is we're living in a really interesting time right now. And we know that real estate is one of the largest levers in the American economy. even through the last couple of months that we've seen there's some really unprecedented things happen, real estate has stayed pretty strong. We all know that the market's doing pretty well right now. So we want to lean into that. We want people to be able to share what their most valuable asset is. So what is that asset? How much is it worth? There's a lot of people that are making some big changes in their life right now. There's a lot of people that are moving away from major cities because can't really do anything in major cities right now. And there's a lot of folks that are remote. So is it time to move? Well, I would need to know the value of my most large asset here. So that's why we're celebrating this week. And to start, big data is not the future. Big data is now. And what's great about this is that what this means is there's information all over the internet, right? In all of these different places. And what's helpful about this big data is that it points us in directions, right? What is my home worth? Is it a good time? What is the market doing? Well, we have access to all that information and it is all over. So we can put that into one usable location that your clients can keep going back to. So you can sign them up for a monthly report. They can get this if you want to stay in flow with those people month over month. So whether they're ready to buy right now, or let's say it's going to be another 18 months or 2 years, well, who are they going to contact once they are ready to buy or sell? Probably the person that gave them all this information for all this time. So we can give them that information and answer those questions. All right. So so how is big data going to help us in real estate? Well, it's going to help us in a couple ways. Is that we're able to educate our clients specifically about National Home Valuation Week. About what's going on, again, sending them that link so that you can make sure that they have information if they're ready to make that big change in their life. So you're able to do all of that right from BUYSIDE. And there's a couple of tools that we're going to go over. There should be a picture here. Okay, so let's actually jump ahead here. So we are going to have a couple of contests during National Home Valuation Week. So when you're sending this out, we know we have these marketing tools that you can use to send these out. So we have 3 contests that BUYSIDE is running. One is the most creative marketing ideas. So those that send this out, whether it be an image on social media or it be a video that you've put out. So what are those creative marketing ideas? Just make sure when you do send these out, if it is on social, if it is on any of these marketing platforms, that you use the hashtag. So it's National Home Valuation Week. So it's NHVW. So hashtag NHVW, just hashtag it with that. And then we're going to be keeping an eye on all of these. So when you're making your posts, the most creative marketing ideas, we're going to be keeping an eye on. We also are going to have contests for who is the person that gets the most valuation attempts. So by the end of the week, who has the most valuation attempts? And then who is the agent with the most monthly reports? Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, we'll talk about it in just a minute. So that's what this week is. That's what this week is designed for, is to spread that information, show that this economy, that our industry, real estate, is kind of the shining light right now, and that all of us are leading that charge. So you're able to do that and show all of your clients, all of your friends, your social sphere of influence, that information. Now, we do have a couple resources that you can use. So one is we have a BUYSIDE Insiders Facebook group, and we are going to be posting some information on our Facebook group over the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't already joined, you can at BUYSIDEinsiders.com. Or if you, with these competitions, you may get stuck somewhere. If you have any questions, if you have let's say you need another quick tutorial, you can always reach us at support@getbuside.com. And we have real people, a world-class support team that's going to be able to help you out when it comes to anything BUYSIDE. So you can always reach out to us there. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this is your dashboard. Odds are it's going to be a little fuller than this, but here's where we're going to start. So we're going to go to our dashboard, and we're just going to go up to Marketing Suite and select that Home Valuation Site button that's up on top there. Now, you're going to have a few options that you can work with here. So the first is this big box right in the middle. And here's what I would encourage everybody to do when you first log in here. come into this, your marketing suite, and click on this big box right in the middle. This is going to be your site, your home valuation site. So you can take a look at what it looks like. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to give us the page. So this is what your clients are going to see. So you can see it's branded to you. It's got your name. It's got where you are, your phone number. So everybody knows that this is you. It's of course got your picture in there as well. And then we can add in an address. So we can add in, let's see, what was it? 15 Cobbles. And then it's going to come up with a drop-down menu. So we would find it here on the drop-down. Now, I see it right there. But you know what? If I click on it, it's going to take me to this page. So here we are. We are on your home valuation site. So this is the actual page. Now, this is what they're going to see. So first up top, you can see it is a marketing report for the address that you just typed in. And it also has bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. We pull that from public records, right? That's the information that we get. Now, you'll notice there's a pencil icon right next to that. Check that out. Now, why would we have an edit button next to something that's public records? Well, let's say they've updated something, right? Let's say they've added a half bathroom. It's 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. And they want to change it here on this report so that they can see it. Now, who is that really going to be important to? That's probably the homeowner, right? So we give them this edit button. But when you click on this, what's it going to ask? Are you the owner? We want to make sure that they verify that they are the owner. So they can claim their listing. They can say, yes, I am the owner of this listing. Now, it's not going to make them pull the deed out or anything. It's just going to ask them, are you the owner? Now, well, I'll share in just a minute why that's important, because you are able to say, yes, I am the owner, but we actually do tell you who the owner is. So we'll do that again in just a second. But it is also branded to you, again, right on the top of the page. So if somebody is getting this report month over month, they're going to see who that person is, who you are every single month. And just to show you, you can sign up for this report monthly. I know we've talked about that, but all you need is your name and your email address. So I can say tom@fake.com. There we go. And I can select get it now. Now, every single month, I'm going to get this report. So if let's say I am not interested in buying or selling just yet, but I did take a look at what my house is worth. And you know what? I want to keep an eye on the industry. That's just something I want to do. Get what's going on in my neighborhood. I can sign up for that and then get this report every month. So now I know when I am ready, what is going to be a good time? What is this a good time in the market? Well, I have that information because it was provided to me by this great agent who I'm now going to call if I need to sell my listing. All right, so we have the top of our page here, and this is your estimated home value. So every client, every seller client is going to have at minimum the same 2 questions, right? Odds are they're going to have a lot more, but they're going to have the same 2, which is how much is my home worth and who's going to buy it? Right? And if we're considering buying or selling, odds are we've probably been online and checked to see what the price of our listing is. So it's seen at least one of these numbers here. So we want to surface this. So we show them how much their listing is worth on the automated valuation models here. So we can see this is off, there's a pretty decent difference here. So we can see on the averages, there's about 30,000, but really it's the range. That's what we want to look at. So we have 481,000 all the way up to 622,000, 624. So there's, what is that, $250,000 difference? That's a huge range there. So why is it saying that? Why is there this big range in all of these different numbers? Well, because it's a computer model. It's not somebody that's walking the streets. It's not a professional that knows that's walked through the listing, that knows the area, that knows the neighborhood, that's seen if you've made any add-ons. It's a computer. So it's guessing. Even Zillow, they even call it. They say it says estimate because that's what it is, right? So are you confused? You probably should be. So here we have, interested in an in-depth home valuation report by a professional? Yes, absolutely. I want to know, I want to get that full value of my home, but I don't want it to sit on the MLS forever, right? That's important. So we give them this call to action, this great button here that is going to let them reach out directly to you right from this report. And it's super simple. So if I can say, hey, Tom Shively, again, I can put in my fake email address here. I always wonder if there is actually a tom@fake.com that I'm sending 1,000 emails to a week. Okay, so we have our phone number. Let's do a Hollywood number, 510-555-1234. And then are you a buyer, a seller, or a buyer and a seller, right? That's probably going to be most people. They're moving, right? So they need both. So we'll put that in, and it's going to grab the address you just put in. And what is my home's approximate value? I think, if I remember, it said 584,000, something like that. So let's add that in. And what is my time frame for selling? Boom. We just did this whole thing in maybe, what, a minute? It was really fast. So if somebody has a question about real estate, they can see that in here. So they can reach out to you directly. So let's go and do it. I'm going to contact Joe. We'll put that in there. And away it goes. Message sent. And you can do this as well. If you want to see how to interact with this, what it looks like, come in here, fill out the report. It's going to send it to you. You know, you can see your own lead. So perfect. There we go. So now we're going to scroll down just a little bit further, and we're going to see what is the condition of your property. Now, what is the condition everyone thinks their property is in? Excellent, right? Now, we'll notice this slider is over on needs work. Well, we saw the pictures of this. It's not on needs work, but we do that on purpose, right? We want to tug on their heartstrings. I want them to think, hey, I just re-landscaped, you jerk. Why is it on needs work? So we can have them change it. We can have them slide it. But what do I want to know? What do I want to make sure if somebody's updating the condition of their property? That they're the owner, that this is the person that owns the house. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and click on that. So yes, Facebook, it's going to go in and grab it because I've signed in on Facebook from my browser before, so it knows my Facebook account. That's easy. And what it's going to do is going to reload the page, but it is going to say that I have claimed this listing, which is really easy. So now that I'm working on this, it's going to ask me what is the year that I purchased this listing. Now, again, I don't have to pull the deed out. It's just going to ask me that question. So I can put in whatever year I remember, whatever you want, really. So verify ownership. When did I purchase this? Let's go ahead and grab 2014. There we go. And then select next. Now, thank you. You've claimed your home. Now, you're going to notice two things. One, you can now do those edits that we talked about. So if I clicked edit here, it would let me do it. And two, monthly report. That disappeared. Why is that gone? That's gone because now they've auto-subscribed. So I've given that email address. They are now subscribed to this report. They can always unsubscribe if they don't want it, but now they're going to see this every single month. So I can come in here and grab needs work and drag it all the way over to excellent. There we go. So I've now updated it. Now remember, this isn't going to update on the MLS. It's not going to update anywhere other than this page. So they're going to be able to see this, and when you share it out, they're going to be able to see that. But that's really it. So now we're going to scroll down a little bit further, and we have our buyer heat map here. And this is some of that info that we were talking about when we said that there is big data everywhere, right? We're going to all different corners of the internet, and we're pulling this information back that we can use as usable information with our clients. And part of that is, where are people searching for listings? So I have my heat map here, and I can see I'm in a pretty good area. So I'm in this red, dark red might be a little bit better, but I can show them this market information. So the point here isn't that I cross my fingers and I hope that I'm in a red area, right? It's that I'm giving you this information. We have it. So I'm showing you this market information about where this listing is. How should we price it right the first time? And we're using actual expertise and information to price that listing. So you can start that here on your buyer heat map. Then we have this really cool funnel, right? So the next question that people always ask is, who's going to buy your house? So we can start to show them there's a lot of activity. So one, by price range, how many people are out there that are looking for a home? So less than 100K, a lot. In the 500 to 800,000 range, probably less, but there's still 86 here, and 31% are a 4+ bedroom. So a lot of people that are out there, again, searching for their listing. Then we have buyer activity, and this funnel is great. This is where people are going, wow, there's a ton of people. So we have online activities inside of your network. There's 16 million. There's a lot of people out there. Then we have 61,000 people searching within a 5-mile radius of this address. So there is a lot, tens of thousands of people that are searching in this area. 2,000 people that are searching within a 5-mile radius and in this home's price range, and just shy of 2,000 people are looking for a listing within a 5-mile radius, within the home's price range, and are looking for a 4-bedroom. So they are looking for your exact listing. So there is just about 2,000 people. Now here is your knockout punch, right? here's where we get to answer that question. Featured buyers in the system. So, hey, that's great that there's 2,000 people looking online, but who are they? So what you showed them here on this page is that there are actual people represented by an agent at your brokerage that we can line up right now. So I've got 4 of them that match this, whose buyer profile matches this listing. So I can reach out to those agents right away. And this is one thing that our CEO Chuck loves to say is when he was in real estate, when he was doing real estate, he was selling. People kept asking him, how are you selling listings so fast? How are you finding these buyers so quickly? And he goes, it's easy. I don't look for buyers. I look for the agent that has buyers. And that's what BUYSIDE is helping you do. Identify those agents that have buyers and are they looking for your listing? So we're surfacing this. So you're able to see there are these 4 people who are serious buyers who are ready to purchase and they're represented by an agent. So you can see, you're not going to see their name, but you can see their buyer ID and you can reach out to those agents within BUYSIDE. But what you're showing your client here is sign the contract, sign on that dotted line, and I can reach out to these people right away. We're getting this big head start in the process here. I don't have to go searching. I've already got them. I've searched. They're here. So sign that contract and we can start to work with that. So we're providing them all of this information, again, about the market, about if they're ready to buy or sell and how this process is going to work. But now we've answered both of those questions. How much is your home worth and who's going to buy it? And it's all just here on this page. Now, there is a few more things here on this page. And one is the supply side trend. So how many listings have been sold over the last 3 years? So we have everything from Q1 2016 all the way through now. Q4 2019. So we can see that here. So we can see that this has stayed pretty consistent. 52 listings in the last 90 days in this zip code. And it's stayed at about this average or median price range. So you can see there's a lot of great info on here. We can show them comparable. So actual sold listings in the area. Again, in the last couple of months, there is a lot of these. Last 18 months there have been these listings. So we can show them comps that look pretty similar to theirs. Now we get to the bottom of the page and we give them that call to action again. So there's 3 places on this page where they can reach out to you. So they've seen at the top where it was contact me if you're confused. And then once they consume all this information, once they get to the bottom, they can also reach out. So I can contact Joe. Again, it's going to give me that page. And had they not already done so, there would be the monthly report here on the bottom. So they could sign up for that once they get through all this information as well. So it's on the top and the bottom. So a lot of people that are going to be able to interact with your report here and stay in flow with those people as you go through the process with them. Okay, so that's the report itself. That's what's on your home valuation site itself. Again, I would encourage you to come in here and check it out if you haven't already done so. Again, click on that box right in the middle and check it out. Now, how do we get this into our clients' hands? This is an easy one here. So let's go to email signature valuations links. So these 2 buttons on the bottom are how we're going to be able to share this really simply. And the first is every communication that we send out is going to be a potential lead. So any communication we have, we can put this in our signature, just this link. Let's actually click it. This is a link. So I can click on that and it takes me to my home valuation page. There we go. So it's that simple. So now all I'm going to do is copy this and paste it into my signature. And once I do that, again, every email I send out is a possible lead. So put it in your signature, put it in your team signature, put it in your son's signature, put it in your mom's signature, put it in as many places you can send this so that leads start to come in as much as possible. Now, the other place in here that you can use is copy the link. So this is going to be the link to your home valuation page. So if you wanted to type out text, let's say you didn't like the text for your signature, but you still like the idea of that being in there, you can do that. You can type out your own message and then just highlight it, make it a link, and paste the link that you copied from here. Or you can use that for email blasts or newsletters or anything else where you wanted to put the link to your page. Now, one place that
I just wanted to ask, someone just asked if people are trying to follow along, is there a browser they should be using, a specific browser that works better? Like
Very
Google
good
Chrome
question.
Or...
I mean, as a standard, I like to say Chrome just because I think it's the best one, but really it works on any browser. So you should be able to use these for any of them. Caitlin, if you got a better answer, let me know, but I think it's just any browser you should be able to use.
We definitely, Chrome, we see you have the best experience overall. So when in doubt, pick Chrome if possible.
Always do Chrome. Yeah, for a lot of technology stuff, Chrome will always be the best just because it's, you know, it's Google. Okay, so that is your signature. Now, we talked about the link itself. Now, one place that a lot of people like to put the link is social media, right? Here is how we can share it to our social sphere of influence. And while we're talking about National Home Valuation Week, we talked about putting this out on social media and the creative tags and stuff like that. So when we're putting that media stuff out there, you can put it out on your own, which I would recommend, especially if we're going to be competing in that creative marketing. But what you can also do is do it right from here. So I can go to, let's say, Facebook. Really, there's 181 social medias. So wherever your clients are, wherever we know they are on that social, we can use that. But let's do Facebook. It's going to grab a window here. But you can see that it has the page. So the Home Valuation Estimator page by Mr. Joe Bricker. It's branded. So I can say, see what your home is worth. There we go. So I can put that out there. Of course, I want to make sure I hashtag it National Home Valuation Week, NHVW. So when I'm posting that on anything, I can send that out. So there we go. And away it goes. So this is going to go onto my feed. Now there's a couple ways that we can do this. Now you can see share to my news feed or my story. Or I can put this in a group. So if you belong in a group in an area where you farm for listings, you can do that here. Or you can share it on a page that you manage. So this is, let's say I go Tom Shively. That's my, let's say I've got a Facebook business page. Well, people expect you to put stuff like this on there. So I would encourage you to come in here, do this, check it out, see what it looks like. And then we can paste that directly to Facebook. So away it goes. Just click post right there on the bottom. Okay, so that's how we send it out on social media. Again, there is 181 of them. So the last thing that we're going to look at today is the leads. So what happens when I've seen what's on the page, I've sent it out, it's in my signature, it's out on social media. What happens next? We're going to go to my leads right up on top. So that button right there. Now, this is where you can see the leads as they come in. So we can start to work with these. One, I can see this is when I claimed my listing and I signed up for that monthly report. It's got my email address there, my name, and of course my image because it grabbed it from social media. But I claimed this as my own listing. I said, I live there. Well, here's the actual owner's name. So, well, no, I don't live there. But just so you know, if somebody does say that they claimed that listing and you notice that the name is different, well, it might be another agent, right? It might be somebody that's contacting you on behalf of this person. Or it might just be another person that is just taking a look at the different listings and maybe they accidentally clicked that. So there is a way for you to differentiate. So I can see that those names are different. Now, I also have the address here. So that when you contact this person, if they reach out, they say, I have a question about real estate. I'm ready to buy or sell, or any of those other things. They'll probably have a few questions about this report. So instead of trying to figure out what their address is, retype it into your own page, what you can do is just click on this address and it'll bring up their report. So we can click on that and it'll bring up that same report that we took a look at. It's going to take a minute to load. But once that's up, you'll be able to look through and see what they saw, go over that information with them if they've got any questions about it. Okay, then we have our, how did they interact with this report here? So I can see I've got the monthly report, I've got the inquiry. So the inquiry is they actually filled out that form. They put in their email address and their phone number. This is a really warm lead. So I can see that they put that in there. I'm going to contact this person right away, right? Because this is the person I'll want to speak with because they have those questions. And did they claim that listing? Now I can also see the valuations. So there are 4 numbers here. But what is the value of their home that they saw? So what are the numbers? So if I'm going to start to talk to them about the value of their home, the starting place might be the valuations, if that's something that you wanted to take a look at. But at least you know what they saw first. And then a couple of other actions. So if you've contacted this person or if they've, let's say, looked at it a couple times and you've already talked to them, you can archive any of these, which means it just gets rid of it. It puts it into your archive valuations up top here. Or you can create that buyer market analysis, which is such a great way to display this information. Okay, so now when you send this out, let's say you send it out on your social. Well, not everybody that's on your social media lives near you. I know this because I have friends in Rome, and I get them clicking on my links sometimes. They'll see that when I go to my marketing pages, and I'm like, oh man, there's a couple of clicks from all over the place here. So if there is somebody that's out of your area, Rome is a bad example. Let's say Philly. I'm in California. But let's say that somebody ran this report. Well, these out of area leads will show up here. So you're going to be able to see those people that run this valuation that aren't in your area. So what do we do with those? Well, we can start a referral business here, right? I'm probably not going to sell anybody a house in Philly if I'm all the way in California. So I can start that referral business, send it out to somebody over there, or I can start to get those referrals back. So we can start to make that money that way. So a couple of different ways that we can interact with our leads here. All right. So the very last thing, I swear, I know I've said that a few times, is the way that you can interact with this. So there are going to be a couple people that go and they run their address. You'll notice that there was not a forced login. So when you went to their home valuation page, they just punched in an address. They didn't have to put in an email address. They didn't have to put in a password or their name or anything like that. They just got the information. And that's what we want, right? We want as many people as possible to start to see this information and not scare them away with that login. So anybody can do this, but that means that there are going to be a couple people that you see that say no name provided. We can still use those, right? Because it'll have the owner's name and the address. So if you're seeing this, you can probably use those as mailers. So if you're doing farming in a particular area, or if you send out mailers, yearly mailers, you can download these and then download the Avery label. So you can print those out as mailer labels directly. So you can see those right from here, these buttons. Whew. Okay, that was quite the mouthful. Now I realize I talk really fast, so if you want me to review anything that I just talked about, please let me know. I'd be happy to go over anything that we talked about today.
Tom, we have can you show again how to share on social media? So maybe we just go over that one more time, since it is the best way to get your home valuation page out there.
Absolutely. That is a great point. So the way that we would do that, let's actually start from scratch here. So let's go back to the dashboard. So the first thing, if that's what you want to do, is share this on social media. So we're going to go to our dashboard. We'll go to Marketing Suite up on top, and we're going to go to Home Valuation Site. It's the first one right on top. And then we can, the second bubble here, you can see share on social media. So we're going to click on that. And you have this icon down here. You can see Facebook, there's the plus, Twitter, and email. Just hover over that. So if you hover over that icon, you can see all these different social medias. So Facebook, Twitter, if I wanted to do any one of these, and again, just click on whichever one you like. So if I do Facebook, boom, it's gonna pop up. Now I've logged into my Facebook here, so it just grabbed it. If you haven't, then you can always just type in your password. It'll let you do it. It'll let you post directly from here. But this is how you would do it. Now, if you wanted to post on social media, but you didn't want to use this button, the way I would recommend doing that is you can grab the link here. So you can copy this link. So if you wanted to send it out in emails, if you wanted to put it on your Facebook, you could do it that way as well. And it'll populate an image, or if you wanted to put your own image in there, so some creative marketing, for example, you could do it that way as well.
Why don't we talk a little bit about Instagram as well, Tom, since we know we have some Instagram lovers out there. So why don't you tell us the best way to share your home valuation page link when posting on Instagram?
Yes, it is a little bit different. Now you will notice that Instagram is not in here. And the reason that it's not in the native version of this is because you can't post links in a post on Instagram. So this is one of those situations where you would have to use the link. So you grab that link, like we just saw, you go into that little @ button there and copy the link, and then you can paste that into the bio in your Instagram. So you would paste that link in the bio, and then whenever you have posts on Instagram, if you have a following there, you can post a picture of any listings or any images that you make, and then you can say link in bio. So that way, when you do have your post, if you want people to be able to direct it from there, especially from mobile devices, they can actually see it. They can get that information, and it's mobile responsive. You can type in their address, but you can put it into Instagram by putting it into the link section of your bio of your information. So just go into Instagram, edit that bio, and then it'll say URL. You can paste this directly into there, and then you can direct them to that link from your posts.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. So our next question is, if I post my home valuation page on social media and my agents share it, will their clients go to me instead of them? And I can take that one. So Charlene, yes, if you're sharing your own branded HVS page on social and then your agents share your page, then any lead that comes in off that home valuation page is going to show up within your My Leads tab. All of your agents should have their own individual branded home valuation pages. So I think in terms of training and making sure that they're getting those leads coming in on their pages, just encourage them to share their own link. So that will make sure that any leads that they're getting as a result of their efforts will go into their BUYSIDE accounts. All right. I attempted to boost my BUYSIDE post via Facebook, but it was rejected. How would I advertise my BUYSIDE page on Facebook and be compliant? I want to do a shout out for this specific question because we have a webinar that's coming up that I just wanted to sort of announce, and I'll make sure that your team shares a link as well. On October 1st, our webinar is going to be digital marketing strategies with our expert and chief growth officer, Steve Peel. So he's going to go a little bit more into depth with tips and tricks about how to boost your views for your home valuation page on social media. So we'll make sure we share that link as well. But we'll be sharing a lot of great information about, and a little bit more than we have previously about social media tactics. So I would
Caitlin, can I just add something about that with fair housing and such?
Sure.
If you guys are trying to boost your post, when you're on Facebook, one of the options is going to say, are you a special ad category? And you are. So that would be for employment, real estate, housing, stuff like that. You actually have to click that you are a special category, and then it's going to ask you to just click something that the fair housing laws, rules, all of that. Once you click that, you actually can't target outside of location. You can't do any other special targeting. It's all blocked. So make sure, and there is a quick little tech tip that I have on my YouTube channel. Make sure if you're trying to boost this, that you do turn on special ad category and then check that you are following the fair housing. If you are boosting and it's asking for pixels, it shouldn't if you're using the image that we have from BUYSIDE and Howard Hanna. If you're adding your own image with a lot of text, it might say that this is not a good image for Facebook. But people who have questions like that, you can email me off this webinar and we can go through that together.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. So next question from Bonnie is, how do you contact the agent that has the buyer for your listing? So Tom, I'll let you take that one and walk through it on the platform.
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. Now, I don't think I have any listings here. So the way that would work is when you have a listing or a buyer, if you were to click on your listing, again, or if you clicked on your buyer, it'll have matches. So you'll actually be able to see it on your dashboard. But when you click on that listing, if you scroll down, it'll have all of the buyers there. So you'll be able to see those buyers. So they're inside that. That might be a different webinar, just so you guys know. This is particularly about the marketing suite, but the buyer match is a really powerful tool. So you can click on that. And then when you see the actual buyers themselves, when you see that, when you click on that, it'll have the contact box on the right-hand side. So it'll show you who the agent is, and you'll be able to send them an email directly from here. Or if you know them, you can obviously contact them however you like. But you'll be able to contact them directly from BUYSIDE. So you can actually see that inside of here. So if you have your listing, if you have at least one of a listing or even a buyer here on the homepage, you can just click on it and you'll be able to contact those people.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. Where do I put the hashtag NHVW on home valuations to participate in our contest?
Yeah. So whenever you're posting this anywhere, just make sure you post it if it's on Facebook, if it's on Instagram, if it's on Twitter, if it's anywhere, on YouTube, just hashtag it with, and now here we go. NHVW, or National Home Valuation Week, and and we'll be monitoring that. So those competitions, that's how we're going to be tracking it. So when you do put any of those social posts out there, make sure you hashtag it with that. We'll be taking a look.
Hey, Tom, I'm going to just add something really quick to that. So the marketing department put together a Word document. We put it in Gohana and documents in marketing. There's a link in the email that went out last week. We'll try to get that out again, maybe at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. But this document has 4 different options on what you can write as a social post to talk about Home Valuation Week. So when you go in there, just grab one that you like, copy it. You can paste it right into your social post. It includes the hashtags for you. So it's trying to make it as easy as you can. And there's about 15 different images in there you can share talking about home valuations as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
That makes it easy. Thanks, Kevin.
Awesome. Well, we have 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up. If you have a question that you think of later on, you can definitely contact us at support@getbyside.com. Or if you throw it in the Q&A now, we'll make sure that somebody reaches out to you to answer that question. But just to wrap things up, we got a question from William. I just tried to get a valuation on an active listing of mine and it only showed the listing info. Well, we do that on purpose. We assume that if you have an active listing, you've already shown and established a price for that listing. So we will automatically redirect if someone tries to type in an address that you already have listed. It will automatically redirect to that active listing page to give the information about your listing, as opposed to giving additional prices for a home that you may have already established a price for. Awesome. All right, Tom, I think that is all of our questions that we have. Any parting words from the Howard Hanna team that we want to chat about before we wrap up here?
No, I just want to say I hope a Howard Hanna agent wins the contest. That would be pretty awesome. So please reach out if you have a question about this. If you're like super pumped and ready to go share on everything, you can reach out to Kevin or I, and if you have a question about how to do so. There's a ton of tech tips out there, but again, this is across the country, so I'm pulling for Howard Hanna to win here. Kevin, any parting words from you?
Really, I just wanted to thank both Tom and Caitlin for having this webinar for all of our agents today. Great overview on all the things that BUYSIDE does for our agents, and I'm really looking forward to all the energy that this is creating this week. And obviously, Kate, it's not if Howard Hanna agent's going to win. It's
what
they
agent?
are going to win. They are going to win. Now, I do believe that, actually, because we do have the best agents in the country. So I'm looking forward to seeing everything that happens this week with Home Valuation Week. And in a day like today where listings are far and few between, this is one of the best listing tools that you can get new listings with. So looking forward to seeing all that.
I should probably add thank you, Tom and Caitlin, since Kevin had to come in and say the first thing I want to say is thank you, and I didn't say that. So thank you also for this webinar. And I guess if we have any other questions, Caitlin, we'll send them to you if we can answer them, and hopefully we'll be pretty successful this week.
Awesome.
I love it. I know you guys are. You guys always do things big. I've been working with you guys for years. This is wonderful. So yeah, thank you guys for having us. This has been wonderful.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.